Welcome to Falcon's Flight 14, presented by Limber Disc Golf and supported by Innova. This coverage is brought to you by the Patreons of Park Pro and PDGA Canada. Looking at the beautiful overhead shot here of the big open shared communal space over the west course of Aspen Meadows. Tied as Alberta's top-rated course, I suppose, with the east side. Would be right.
I thought it was Canmore Nordic Center.
Oh, really? Okay. And with me in the booth here is Jesse Tomalti.
Hello.
Say hello.
Yeah, welcome to the back nine coverage here. You missed the front nine or round one. Check it out on our YouTube channel. We are looking at these guys shredding the course today. Miguel Alvarado with the overall lead right now. You're seeing round scores, not overall scores in front of us. We've got Jace Barros as well from Sherwood Park, Ben Loggains, who is from Cranbrook, and beside me, and Sylvan from Victoria, I believe.
Right.
Seeing all their player cards. Anything jumping out quickly? Just that the Ben Loggains forehand is low.
Well, especially this week. I'm feeling it on the forehand. I noticed there we had Miguel as a free, or no, sponsored by Don B, but now he's a Discmania athlete.
And Cardinal Apparel, yeah.
That's right. Okay, hole 10, thrown out into the wind. This is where the course totally changes from being in the woods there at the beginning to out in the wind. Simple hyzer out over the campground. You can use those porta potties as an aiming spot. Most common result here is just don't leave it OB on the right, but the wind is usually bringing you back in bounds, and then you usually see everyone faced with 30, 40, 50-foot putts. And then you got to make a decision.
Yeah, the common miss is just to leave it a little too direct to the basket and to fade out a little bit left. Most people throwing this well will throw it kind of over that right side OB line.
Yeah, this starts off on a good line, but that wind is going to just pull it over where it seems like everything wants to go.
Yeah, that spot with the trees collects a lot of this. Probably varies in distance from 20 to 50 feet over there, depending on how deep in the trees you are. This one's looking left as well.
Yeah, this is a crisp new Banshee, so it's got no ideas of doing anything other than going left.
A little deep, but all in all, not a bad shot. You'll have an uphill look at this basket, which is nice. It is elevated, so shorter putts or shorter drives create much more dangerous putts.
I'm actually far enough away there that I'm not even going to be tempted to run it. I'm in the 70-foot range with branches. Ooh!
Great shot by Jace.
That's great by Jace. Jace, close enough. He'll have to run it. What is he, maybe 18 feet there?
Yeah. The downhill side does make it a little uphill, and it makes it maybe awkward for what you're used to throwing.
Okay, so still throwing a little flatter shot to try to keep the wind from affecting it as much, but then it just chews up all of his speed.
Yeah, he's kind of in that no-go zone for the putt. To run it with enough pace from there, you're likely going to go 40 feet down the hill.
I'm just looking for the layup here, but even my layup required a little bit of a gap hit. So taking my time and taking my medicine.
Yep, same for Miguel.
Yep. It's honestly a bit of a relief to see that you are in a spot that you don't have to decide, because it's so common on this hole to be in that in-between zone where you feel like you need to. We were getting some jeers from the gallery telling us we were all chickens, but Jace.
Not Jace Barros.
Through. You see, even inside the circle with the Sally, even inside the circle, that's not an easy putt at all.
Absolutely.
That feels like he just hit a 40-footer, even though it was 19 feet.
Lots of people camp to the right side of this fairway, so there's always a good gallery going.
They were teasing us bad for our layups there too, but there's no world in which we're running those putts from that side at the OB.
No, that's Birdogi or worse territory.
But the vibes are good.
The vibes are great.
Get another look at this. Woo! With the wind under the disc, that's a good putt. And we get to see some skin. Thanks for that, Chase.
On to hole 11, par 3. Continuing a theme of having a lot of blind baskets. This one you want to push straight, and it trickles down the hill into this kind of protected green. You can see a wide variety of plays here. Wide hyzers skipping in, straight shots cresting the hill and checking up nicely. Even the odd forehand, kind of whatever you can get to filter into this hole and stay there. If you stay up on top, you can be left with some challenging downhill putts. And like most of these baskets, pushing it too far into the rough can give you a lot of trouble as well.
Yeah, normally I think overstable mid-range to fairway, overstable fairway. And this green's pretty kind. It's like built like a catcher's mitt. So as long as you bring it in right to left, it's going to kind of absorb whatever you want to throw. A little unlucky for Jace there to not cheat through those low spruce trees there, but still got to look. It's high wide when you don't see as much. I think most people are going lower than this, but Miguel taking a faster disc, and it pays off.
Yeah, he might know something.
Yeah, so but you can tell there you don't know where you ended up, right? So the guys in the next tee box, where there's typically a backup, are letting him know that he's under the basket.
This Buzz OS from you?
Yeah, so I like the slower disc, thrown with speed underneath. And look, yep, more than one way to skin a cat. Is that a saying in Canada?
I haven't skinned many cats, but I have heard the saying.
Okay. So if I'm getting the slow-mo instead of Miguel here. I don't totally know why.
Maybe you get a funny skip past the chains.
Oh, that was close to going in.
A little boop off the branch.
Wow. Couldn't tell if that caught any metal, but I'll take it, man. This hole, sometimes you think you've thrown it well and you get up there and you've still got a 30-footer down the hill at it. So it's always a relief to see that you're close here.
This is a little safer, shorter inside.
Yes, and the slope should gather it. Man, if he just beats that tree, the slope will pull that right to the basket. A little kneeling out. He's getting his weight over his knee. Oh, gonna check out the other side. Yeah, there's no way that's good. Yeah, so when you do these straddle outs, if you put the knee down, you can actually get your center of gravity farther to the side. Stay on balance.
It's a little wide.
And we see the same stance here over top of the knee from Still. Wow, that's gorgeous.
Just dropping it in.
Gets it up, gets it down. Yeah, and as long as you're not putting from the high side of this green, you feel fairly safe, I think, against the slope here to run them.
I definitely think that's why they're taking it from a knee, not just to get out, but it also brings you lower to the basket, so you're not putting down at a lower, like a smaller target.
I was getting some cheers from Miguel there. Miguel is always cheers for the card mates, even if it's the final round.
Yeah.
He feeds off of energy, and so he wants to generate some for himself and others.
Absolutely. Yeah, he feeds off his own and your energy, so he'll give you as much as he can. Even when he's down on himself, he'll still be clapping for your shots and stuff, and it's really commendable.
Yeah. Okay, hole 12, par 5, 1,095 feet. This is the signature hole of the property. When people tell you a story about this place, this is the first place they'll mention. Off the tee, we're looking at big forehands. Huge turnovers are possible. They get you way out into here, but I think most folks are just trying to get something to the corner. Then once you get to the corner, you've got 2 more shots. The second one hopefully landing somewhere near this lone tree in the middle of the fairway. And then I think the toughest part of this hole is controlling your speed into the green. It's a bit of a false front. Very hard to judge the distance based on where you are exactly. And then it slopes off and the grass is mowed short and the ground is hard and everything wants to go OB to the barbed wire back there. The direction of the wind changes as you play the hole and as you turn the corner, so it can be difficult to adjust to that as well. So we'll see. So Miguel in the past, I feel like I've mostly seen him throw the forehand off the tee here, but I'm going to see him throw the backhand putter. A bit more conservative. Surprised to see that come out that low.
Oh, that you really want to have a look down the hill from the corner, and that is not a good mistake from Miguel. And a spot he's probably never been used to throwing from.
So I've always been aggressive here. This is a race for me. I've always been aggressive here because there's just nothing that terrifies me more than playing it safe like what Miguel did and still being in trouble.
Yeah, as long as you make the Mando, you can pitch out to a place that would be a okay place to have a second shot at worst.
Well, we had a terrible wind for the aggressive play there. So as soon as I turned that over, the wind is behind and to the right, which is very uncommon here, and it just punished my disc down. So probably should have made a different decision there because, I mean, I did know that was going to be the case.
It's just so tempting when you see a T sign that has more than 1,000 feet on it to want to go big, and you get some glory.
This looks nice from Jace. He's just over the top of the trees.
A little inside again.
Yeah, a little bit early.
I think if you're
no good drives here,
not trying to go for it, what Miguel was probably trying to go for is the play. There's better footing for that second shot higher up the hill. It's flatter and easier to really get a hold of one.
It's hard to commit to any shape here because no decision seems way better than anything else. So it makes it tough to commit. This looks really well thrown.
That's perfect.
Okay, so he's there in 2. I think birdie's probably off the table, though, from there.
Yeah, I would say so, too. I think you probably want to be at least 300 feet, maybe 250 down the hill on your second shot if you ever want to try and go for bird.
Wow, that is a beautiful shot.
Yeah, wow.
Taking the slower disc. Okay, I'm getting aggressive here. I thought
this is a halo boss.
Yes, this is my most overstable disc, and I'm going to throw it on almost roller angle. And I'm short of the corner here.
Do all of it. Yeah, Ben.
Yeah, that's one of the better shots I've thrown in my life. Couldn't see the full pan there, but it started off really high, got back to flat, and actually found the fairway, which is bonus for me because my decision there is that if I'm going to be in the rough, I want to be in the rough far away from here, not near here. So that's the decision to get aggressive there.
He's taking his medicine, finding the center of the fairway, doing all the right stuff.
Wow,
this one needs to
good.
Come out a little quicker, I think, for Miguel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. The first bit of turn was good. Like you wanted to see a little bit of turn there, but then it just kind of kept holding.
Yeah, you need the turn to give it enough time to swing back in and find the center of the fairway and not get chopped off on the left, as we might see here from Still.
Bottom stamp destroyer from Still, it looked like there.
No, he's in a great spot.
That's fine. A little easy pitch up and down, and that'll be for the par, I think, right? Yes.
Let's see what this one has.
That's well thrown. Good turn. Is it too far? No, not far enough.
Not far enough.
Okay. It is so hard to judge distance on this hole, and it's because you're not consistently in the same landing zone, right? But just because there's so much variance off the tee.
Yeah, I find myself in between discs kind of distance often on this last shot, whether I've played really well and it's between a mid and a putter, or if I've played it poorly and it's between a fairway and a distance driver. One of the holes where having a rangefinder really pays off for you.
I didn't realize how lucky I was for that thing to sit that quickly.
Yeah, that back fence OB comes into play more than you'd expect, even on shorter shots. It is fairly downhill from the basket, which is harder to tell on camera, and it produces a lot of rolls.
Goodness.
Yeah, just like this one.
Yeah, so I think because I carried it farther, I actually caught that thicker grass. Seeing it now, you don't know how it happens when you're farther back, but you're gonna have a birdie putt, which I haven't seen a lot of birdies on this hole myself.
It produces a lot of numbers, and I will look up the stats now because I think birdie's not uncommon per se, but bigger numbers are.
This is a hole that if you told me you can just take a par and move on, well, I'd say no because I want to play it. Fun hole to play, but the par would be a good number just to have.
I lied. There was 2 birdies, and it is the hardest hole on the course. It played 1.02 strokes over par.
Okay. So this for a birdie. Look, this will be my first birdie on this whole in-tournament play. And I knew it.
Yeah.
I wanted that one a little more and didn't focus on what I was doing. But hey, I will take the par.
Obviously, you can see on your face that you want that putt back because the birdie would feel so good. But
yeah.
And after seeing that stat, you wouldn't make that face if you knew that you just took a stroke on the field.
Yeah. Folks out with the umbrellas. It's a nice day when the umbrellas are out and it's not raining.
Yeah. Speaking of people with umbrellas, shout out to all of our spotters today. We had Chris Teeple on that hole, and he was keeping everything running smoothly for us.
Okay, that par, it is getting work done here. You see, I tied it up with Miguel there. Casey Annam are 2 behind. 10 under. He's in the clubhouse. So ties the course record there. Minus 10. And then we see Jace there at -7 as well, hanging on.
Yeah, some other great scores up there. Connor Mickelson thrown down a 6 down. Very, very respectable score.
He's a talented player.
Mm-hmm. Hole 13, par 3, 328. A hole that I will say doesn't feel like it plays like 328. It's a little bit uphill. You can see the cut grass area here, but it is not OB to be in the long grass to the left, just not advisable. You'll see guys with big forehands go out to the left side, some big sliding turnover shapes, and then a lot of hyzers that just come in early of the rough on the right and crash in.
Feels like the wind is always working against you. Whatever shot you want to throw, it feels like the wind is hurting it, no matter what the situation is here.
Yeah, I always feel like it's easy to be short on this hole by accident, whether it's the wind, the hill, or what have you.
This is that disc that you gave me, Jesse, the overstable PD2. I put it a little flat to fight that wind and then trust the stability of the disc to bring it back in. And I'm long, which is not what I was expecting. But I guess that's a product of putting it flat. Normally when you throw out wide there, you go straight hyzer the whole way and the distance is tough to get there. But flattening it out a little bit, I go maybe 50 long. But I'll take that.
Yeah, that's a good result on this hole.
Still pretty similar shape, starting at more left and even a little more turn.
You can see how short that was going to come up because of the wind.
Yeah. I can't even tell which way it's blowing here. You figure
I
it
feel
out?
like you usually have wind in your face and a little bit left to right, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, yeah, that checks out. I think it is left to right. Left to right headwind. That's really well thrown from Jace.
Yeah, that's as good as anyone's ever thrown that shot.
Miguel going straight hyzer here, I think. Yep. And at times you'll get lift off the right, but this is getting beat down by that crosswind. And he is lucky to just sneak over the top of that.
6 inches lower, and that gets gobbled up by those big bushes. And this is a different kind of rough than you see on most of the rest of the course. You can see how hard it is. So even to make his stance and get into his disc here, you don't have the typical aspens, but you have these bushes that make it so any look out is a gift.
But Miguel's going to have a makeable putt from over there now.
Yeah, he's just on the edge. He'll still get everything he needs from that drive. And you get everything you need from that putt. Well done.
Yeah, that was a big one. I was kind of forcing that one home. With the crosswind on the right is not a wind I like, so I had to put the disc flat there. And I remember feeling like I was lucky to make that one. That was when I was just kind of putting up and was glad I found the bottom.
Yeah. Miguel hitting cage on that one. If our wind read was correct, that would mean it was kind of coming straight at him. Nose down, going to get pushed down into that cage.
Yeah, and that putt, because of Miguel's miss there, that's a lead change. That's our first lead change we've seen here. Very nice birdie from Jace. Plays it to perfection.
Yeah, you guys still 1, 2, 3, 10 down, 9 down, 8 down. And I suspect we'll see a couple more shuffle ups as the play progresses.
Yeah, and Casey's in the clubhouse at 7, so we know that number's staying there. Another look at Jace's throw. That's gorgeous.
Perfect shot.
Yeah, and these holes out in the open, it's all dependent on what the wind's doing, but you feel like you want to get them all, but it's hard to do in the wind. Hole 14, as we said, another blind one you can't see. Up and over the hill. Very straightforward hyzer. This is the typical normal hyzer distance at 306 that everyone has. This is a stock shot, as stock shot as it gets, and you can see these aspens from over the hill as a guide to bring it in.
Yeah, you're definitely picking the group of aspens on the right as kind of your target to throw at, and then letting the disc do the work to come back into the left.
This is high and sawed off. I was having a hard time deciding between a lower shot on the line that I threw there or a higher shot wider, and I went one element of each of those shots. Threw it into the field.
This is very, very left for
That's the
Jace.
same thing. Yeah, too high, too sawn off. I mean, he's still gonna have a look,
Yeah, it's a good tree for him.
but that's not as close as it looks on camera here. That's probably 35, 40 feet, every bit of it.
Yeah, maybe even more, but that could have been 100 feet without the tree.
This gets a little flatter, so that could be really good. That could go in.
Yeah.
Whew.
I love that.
So from the tee, we know it has a chance, right? You're just looking at whoever's up on top of the hill, watching their reaction to see, like, how close is it? What is this from Miguel? Looks to be a pretty wide rim. He's probably taking this wider. Yeah,
That color makes me think it's a Sexton Firebird or something.
but that's not as wide as he'd like it.
Again,
Wow.
another nice tree save.
Yeah. But not parked like you'd like to be. Like, for sure, he's looking to swing that farther out to the right. This is another 50-footer, 2 holes in a row that I'm farther out than I'd like to be. And that one was a no-doubter. That one, I built some confidence off the last putt where I felt like I snuck it in.
Yeah. Hell of a putt.
Wow, Jace with the stepper. He's close to foot faulting on that stepper, but he isn't. It's just close.
He's bringing a lot of pace into that putt. I like the confidence.
Oh, no.
Oh, they baited us with the music and seeing the chains.
So my theory about Miguel's putt grabbing more chains and being immune to spit outs is proven wrong. Hits the pole.
Does the dance around on the rim and falls out. You can see his face change as he thinks he's got that one dead center, and really did. That one was a bit high and left. Again, you'd like to see it drop, but
iron link there too. It just looked like the chains were kind of stiffened up and just didn't let the disc get into them. So I'm feeling like I got away with murder here on this one. I had the worst drive, and made the putt, and the other guys don't.
Yeah, extending your lead, getting some more cushion coming at the end of the round, and a great time to build momentum too, right?
Yeah.
Boom.
That felt good. Sometimes that's all it takes. The hole before there got one putt to fall that I didn't totally feel the rhythm on, and then you start to feel like, well, maybe I can't miss. So that's how I'm feeling at this point.
True. Hole 15. This is an interesting one as well. 384. You'll see power throwers maybe try a hyzer around the trees to the right, which requires a lot of juice. Select players can also try a roller underneath. That's a very legitimate play here. Just not a lot of roller throwers in our area. Big sidearms around the left, and also left to right moving, either turnover or flex shots as well. It's just keeping it where it needs to be at that kind of distance uphill. You've got that boss in your hand again.
Yeah, getting older, but I still like to think of myself as someone that has the power to get this one on hyzer. But this is at the very limit of my hyzer range, especially into the wind like it normally is on this hole. But I'm feeling pumped from those last 2 made putts, and I got the juice to get it around everything. So
yeah,
I think I got 18 feet.
Yeah,
something like that. Still a great line hitter, but not really a big power player. So he's taking this up the gut route, which will get him a look as long as he's got a window on either side of that tree.
Yeah, it's hard to have too many problems taking that route, because if you hit any of the trees on the way up, it's still a pitch up to an easy par. Miguel.
So Miguel, this hole, the hyzer is definitely stretching his distance to go around the trees there. So he's needing to put a little bit of flex to get it there. And then the wind just, as soon as it saw the other side of the disc, it just pulled him way right. Not a disaster though. There's no OB on this hole, so he should still be able to pitch over and get his par.
Jay's playing that turnover shape we were talking about, sneaking it through the trees. He'll have a good opportunity for a birdie there.
And I'm just guessing, if you pull up the stats, I'm guessing this hole probably has more pars than any hole, because I don't think we see very many birdies or bogeys on this. I think it is just a bunch of pars.
Oh, 15.
Maybe 5 or 6 birdies and then a ton of pars.
This looks like it was the fairest to par. It played only 0.02 over. We had 7 birdies on the day, which I will not spoil. I'm getting better at that. And yeah, a ton of pars and a handful of...
Here's my birdie look. And woo, right in the heart of the nub on the front.
Yeah, that's one of your 7.
It's very uphill there. It feels like you're standing on a wall trying to get it up and over the rim there.
Yeah, if you end up being that deep but left or right for a longer putt, making a comfortable stance to putt across that hillside can be a challenge in itself.
So this happened in a hurry here for me quickly. It went from 2 back from Miguel to 3 ahead.
Yeah.
And a little bit of momentum going one way for him and a little bit of momentum going the other way for me. And of course, like Aspen Meadows that has as much scoring separation, you can string birdies together really quickly, and you can string together over par strokes really quick too. So as we get a look at the grandfather tree, that's for Rudy's his dad or his grandfather? I think his dad. His father, Bruce Falconer. That's on hole 8, that tree on halfway up the fairway. There's our leaderboard. Jason Casey still tied. And then Sil looking to battle Jace for that last spot on lead card. Justin Zimmer, who we saw round 1, 4 under for the round, making some moves.
Yeah, things tightening up around that chase card kind of placing.
Yeah. Hole 16, it's a little putter shot. It is right in front of you. You're staring at the basket, and you really just feel like you cannot leave this one on the table. But this big spruce is just waiting to gobble up any slight misfire. The teeing area is up on the hill, and you're very exposed to the wind. And the basket is very protected, so it's always kind of hard to know just how much of the wind your disc is going to catch on the way in.
Yeah, I definitely see the mistakes on this hole being made. Mismanaging speed control, either because of the wind or the downhill, or a combo of the two. You can see those leaves ripping in the background. It's a proxy from you, Ben?
Yeah, going to that neutral putter. I like the medium height, start the disc flat, and then let it fade at the end. Kind of what I want. And I leave this a little inside. I'm trying to go right at that tree.
Found a hole in the tree.
Yeah. Whatever. I'll take the breaks. A lot of green on my card there right now. Sometimes it's just your day.
Yeah, sometimes it is your day. And I guess we should talk about it. You have had your day on this course before.
Yeah, I guess that's true. 2 years ago, I was playing with Miguel. We were on third card. And lead card was struggling. And we started, both of us, just feeding off the momentum together. I tied that course record of 10 down then as well, and that was what launched me to the win in 2021. But that day was much more throwing. I remember I was hitting every single line, whereas today I don't feel like I'm really hitting my lines, but I am getting a few putts.
Your putter's definitely making up for it. Miguel here, just leaving it a little high and a little flat maybe, that disc pushing off to the left. Jace overcorrecting for him, pulling it to the right.
Yeah, Miguel reeling a little bit. I could feel the emotions on the card that Miguel was really trying to hold it together and make sure that he wasn't going to let too much go.
Should be routine for Jace here.
Smoothies. Ooh.
Yeah,
Perfect. Online. If he'd given it the height, he might have given it a ring. Miguel, this is from the high side down the hill at the basket. A dangerous putt to run at hard.
I always feel like Miguel is giving it a half chance with the type of putt he has.
Oh, cash.
Giving it more than a half chance here for Sil. Wow, that is a great putt.
See Gabby behind him there, getting excited.
Yeah, it feels so good when you've got somebody in your corner cheering you on.
Yeah, so I got this bush in my back pushing on me and one in my neck. Even though it was short, that was awkward. And I'm aware of the situation here too, because that the lead is stacking up. So I'm feeling the nerves a lot. And here at the end of the round too, there's more people starting to gather around and folks coming over and commenting to me and telling me good round at this point. And it's like, just leave me alone.
Yeah, you haven't checked scores yourself at this point, have you?
No, but I know. I can tell what's going on. I'm eating a banana there to deal with the nerves. He stills Huck face. Oh, he gets out of Huck face and into a smile very quickly. Bang! What putt? I like his style of putt where it's kind of James Proctor like, where it's on hyzer, but it doesn't actually move to the left.
Until the very end when it starts dropping, yeah. Hole 17, 375, another uphill blind one. This guy here, you'll see a lot of people throw maybe like an overstable flex shot or hyzer flip to manage that kind of distance that's that uphill. No matter what, you just want to keep it in the short grass. If you're going to miss or know you don't have the power, keeping it to the right is good. Dipping into the left can make things a little more complicated. I think you'll see this group have a couple that can get all the way there comfortably, but it is more of a pump than 375 would lead you to believe.
Yeah, I don't think the power isn't really an issue if you get the nose angle right, but just the slope of the ground here, everyone almost always puts the nose up, so you got to find some way to get the nose down.
Yeah, there's the flex there. And I do think maybe the flex and hyzer flip angles do allow you that nose angle manipulation versus trying to throw flat uphill like that.
Yeah, that's an FD3 for me, and so I like to try to get over on the top of it to get the nose down and then trust the fade to come back. But I just did a little too much. This is just a little too high.
I think that's stalling out a bit early.
The angles are perfect from Sylvan there, but
not that early.
never mind. That's really good. So you see, he did get the nose going forward, and it wasn't really stalling. So even with the height, if this misses everything, it's going to be good. And it does miss everything, and it is very good. Wow.
That was not what I expected.
No, flirting with disaster early, but then late it's looking good. But I mean, that's the thing. When you get Annie, you can get the nose down, which is what you have to do somehow. But then, of course, that happens. Jason and I making the same mistake.
But again, you're missing to the good side to miss. You're not dealing with any of the trees.
Yeah, you can get into trouble here, which I'm aware of where I'm at, and I'm worried about getting into trouble. That was an unintentional layup. My mind wanted to go for it, and the body said no. Ooh, good stop from Miguel there. There's cheers coming from hole 18 behind us.
Yeah, probably a very large gallery building at 18 at this point.
Gathers himself and bangs the birdie.
Yeah, it's a great presence of mind to settle down and step off that putt.
He'll get one back on me there. Got the lead back to 3. Nice. See, Sil just willing that one over the cage there, making sure to keep his stroke on line and on the pole. I'm a little disappointed. This hole actually sets up good for my game. I'm a little disappointed not to have more of a look there, but
let's see Miguel's.
Wow, that is so tight.
But
as soon as it beats that one, he's home. And then it's just a matter of if he's going to hit the little metal bush we call a basket. On the skip, just right side, cage high.
Beautiful.
Hole 18, this is a big change.
Huge change.
So this used to be a par 4 way up and over the hill, beyond the 10th that you see. But now they've driven a whole bunch of white stakes in the ground, elevated the basket, and made room for the gallery. So you'll see it here on our live coverage, but there'll be a lot of people around this green to try to add some nerves. I think for MPO lead card, I don't think this OB is tight enough, honestly. For as short as this hole is, I think this is pretty straightforward for the players that are relevant in the conversation here. But
I think you're right, but I think the Aspen Meadows Falcon's flight effect starts to kick in, knowing that this is your finishing hole. And there's probably more than 100 people staring at you. Things start to tighten up a lot when that pressure is applied.
Yeah, round 2 though, however, not round and I'm being proven wrong here. But round 2, the nerve's not the same quite as the final round.
That looks
little
good.
Chop sidearm with the Sexton Firebird.
Perfect shot.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. I think the players in contention here, the shot is short enough that it's pretty straightforward, that the OB is not really in your head.
If you do let those nerves get to you, though, you see the pad to the right there. It does go to a drop zone. That is a difficult make. You don't get to play point of entry, which I think is good course design. Otherwise, a lot of players could just blast this out the back deep, take their walk in, and have their 12-foot putt.
Yeah.
You threw your shot very well.
Yeah, I guess I could speak for myself and say that the OB was not even remotely in my head there.
Well, half of our card has missed it now.
Yep. Yeah, I guess.
And here's
it is
what we
still a
see
factor.
from the drop zone. This
is a fun shot.
It's a fun shot. If you get the nose up, you can kind of take a throw at it. It has to get down in a hurry, though.
It's fun to play in front of a gallery like this.
Is what everybody that made it inbounds is saying right now.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's a great shot as well.
So much work was put in between last year's event and this year's event to build the T signs that you see there that say Aspen Meadows. There's one of those on every tee. On the west course, they're green. On the east course, they're red. And then the driving range that's off to the left here behind the gallery. And
yeah, the old par 4 was a lot of fun. But it played across the road, which made it kind of dangerous with cars, mess with the camping, and wouldn't allow for the driving range to go in. Nice
I'm
birdie.
very relieved to be tapping that in. The tournament energy, you know how the legs just feel like concrete at the end of a round like this. And I have no idea what my score is at this point. I know it's good, but I don't know exactly what I'm at. So I'm pretty curious to tally up and see where I'm at.
Yeah, the gallery having some fun there.
The gallery's had some beers and yeah. I look like some electronics on the handshake there from me and Jace. I don't know what that was. Okay, scoreboard heading into the final round. I'm at minus 14, 10 under, tied the course record alongside Casey, both of us with the course record tying. And it's each of us, I think, that had the course record on that west side to start with. We see Noah Higgins showing some class there, getting to 3 under for this round to sneak his way onto lead card, edging out Sill.
Yeah, you can see that steady play with like a few under is really the key to long-term success here. Rounds that are 2, 3 under adding up enough to put you onto that lead card.
Yeah, so Miguel 3 back going in the final round and Casey 7 back. Okay, that's it for round 2. We'll see you in the final round.
Yeah, keep it tuned to Park Pro. Join our Patreon, like, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you for the exciting conclusion of Falcons Flight 14.
Peace.
Get it in there.